Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times. Today we're here to spill some tea. We're here to talk about the last installment in the Purge franchise, the Forever Purge. And honestly, I do hope that this franchise doesn't go on forever because at this point we might have had enough.
It's coffee time.
Alright you guys, so I finally was able to watch the Forever Purge. I was originally really excited because the Purge movies are kind of my guilty pleasure. I know they're not perfect movies, but for some reason I've always really enjoyed them. They're kind of this comfort horror that you just put in and just sit down and relax and have a good time. But of course they are not like amazing movies. And you know, I was still excited for this new installment even though the trailer gave a little bit too much away. So if you're somebody that really loved the Forever Purge, this might not be the review for you. I'm here to let you know what I thought about the movie spoiler free. If you are new here, you love horror reviews and collectibles, please consider subscribing to the channel and also hit the notification bell before you leave. The Forever Purge is an American dystopian action horror film directed by Everardo Gaut and written by series creator James DeMonaco, who also produced along with Jason Blum and Michael Bay. Originally, this movie was supposed to be the fifth and last installment in the franchise, and it takes place kind of following the events of the Purge election year. However, rumor is that there is a sixth installment on the works. The married Mexican couple Juan and Adela are trying to cross the border from Mexico to the United States, escaping a drug cartel, and they end up working for a family, a Texan family in a ranch, and they start their new kind of American dream, if you may, lives. In 2048, the new founding fathers of America regained control of the US government and reinstituted the annual purge with its original rules. Racial supremacy and nativism have surged nationwide following their re-election, and many are concerned that the upcoming purge will inflict more damage on the country than the NFFA realizes. 10 months later, Juan and Adela are enjoying their new American life when the first purge after it was reinstated is going to begin. They're a little bit scared, they don't know what's going to happen, it's their first time, and they pay a lot of money to hide in a warehouse that is being protected by armed people, and they're hiding there with other immigrants. After the 12 hours of the purge are over and crime, all types of crime, are illegal again officially, it seems that a lot of rebel groups didn't have enough and they still want to keep purging. When it comes to the plot, I was honestly very disappointed. The whole movie felt to me like propaganda. It just felt like too preachy. It just felt like the whole script, many of the lines, it was just so much cringe for me. Like at some point I had enough of all of the politics that are thrown to your face in this movie, and at some point, you know, this story was just a mess. In Anarchy, we had class warfare. In election year politics. In the first purge, racism. And now we have immigration. They're basically making movies in which they are targeting certain groups and telling us, ooh, these groups are bad, these are bad people, these are the villains, and you're supposed to be happy when you see them getting killed. And honestly, I'm a little bit tired of that, and I feel like sometimes, even though they're trying to do some social commentary, I feel like sometimes they do miss the mark. Do not get me wrong, you know guys, I've always loved the Purge movies for what they are, and I've always talked about my love for them, but I have to be honest with you guys, and this one didn't even feel for me like a Purge movie. This one was very disappointing to me. First of all, the Purge has really not much importance in this movie. It just comes and goes. It is just an excuse for the plot and honestly this felt just like a action movie, I guess, with a little bit of deaths all around, but it didn't feel like the other Purge movies apart from having the same title. It was just an excuse to put these radical groups killing immigrants and make this kind of social commentary action drama film, but the horror and the kind of the essence of the Purge was completely removed from the movie, so I was left really like unsatisfied with it. You know, when I think about it, I feel like I'm having with this movie kind of the same feeling that I had with Wrong Turn 2021, because they used the name Wrong Turn, but it had really nothing to do with the franchise, and I feel like this Purge movie is the same thing. They use the name of the Purge, they put it in the franchise, but is it really a Purge movie? Questionable. I feel like if they wanted to tell the story of the immigrants and, you know, the radical groups in the United States and all of these things that they wanted to portray, why make a Purge movie about it though? Like, why don't you make just an action movie with some drama and really tell the story of these characters? Because the two main characters, the Mexican married couple that we are supposed to sympathize with, honestly, we don't even have so much time to really care about these characters. They were a little bit superficial. The character development in this movie is also really like out of the window. So I don't know, like if your purpose was to tell the story of these immigrants and, you know, make people care about it, you missed the mark. It just felt like a completely generic action movie that was not really well thought through. When it comes to the characters, I'm just going to address here the elephant in the room because if you have watched The Purge, The Forever Purge, I was really excited when I saw the poster and I saw this really cool looking guy in this painted horse, and I was like, it's gonna be so cool, it's so epic. Where was that guy though? Like, it's there for a couple of seconds and it was just so disappointing to me. So first of all, like, lot is with your poster. When it comes to the characters in general, there is something that I found really frustrating, and that is that the movie was all the time reminding me, telling me, these characters are good, you should be rooting for them, these characters are bad, they're villains, you should not be rooting for them. And I don't want you to tell me what to think, first of all. Let me come, you know, to my own conclusions. And I felt like, you know, this type of character development, even though they tried to redeem some characters, it was just not good. It didn't really translate. And again, I don't want you to tell me what to think. I want you to show me what the characters are doing and come up with my own conclusions. The characters didn't even get like a proper evolution, like a character arc. The characters were really generic. They felt like really flat. There was nothing really special about them at all. And when I'm watching a movie, I would like to see characters that are morally gray, characters that do something unexpected. But everything was really predictable and boring when it comes to the characters. Technically speaking, it's a decent movie with some nice shots, but I still feel like some of the action parts were not so great executed, and the cinematography was lacking a little bit as well. It could have been much better. But when it comes to, you know, to the technicality parts of the movie, it was a decent, well put together film. My biggest problem when it comes to the action in the movie is that it was all the same thing. Characters are fighting, characters are getting captive, characters are freeing themselves over and over again. And the problem with that is that the movie starts to get repetitive. The same things start to happen over and over again. The action is not something that it's so versatile that it keeps you really engaged. At some point, I was kind of bored. I was kind of waiting for the movie to end the way that I knew it was going to end, because it was very predictable. And in between these action scenes, all you got were more speeches and more preaching about immigration and basically telling you that it took an apocalypse for a white family to stop being racist. The pacing of the movie is fairly slow at the very beginning because they are getting you introduced to our main couple, our married couple from Mexico that are looking for a better new life in the United States. So they're taking their time for you to get to know them, get to know their situation, so that you can relate to them a little bit and that you will be, you know, rooting for them, caring about them when they are being put in danger, which it didn't happen because again, character arc was not great. So I didn't even was worried at all because I knew what was going to happen in this movie. It was like ABC, super easy to predict. And after that slow introduction to all the main characters that we're going to be following throughout the film, the pacing catches up and we start getting all of these action-packed moments, and we do get some breathing scenes here and there in between, but at some point, like I've mentioned, the action was just getting tiring because it was the same formula, copy paste, copy paste. When it comes to the horror, what can I say? Was this a horror movie? Not really. There are no scares, no moments of fear. There is not enough gore for this to be a horror movie. This was basically just an action-packed, almost western, and that was it. There was not really much horror. I did like some of the kills at the beginning, especially when you see these guys in bunny costumes that you've seen on the trailer. So some of the costumes, some of the things at the very beginning of the action were cool, and after that it was all gone. It was just like watching an action movie with generic characters and a lazy plot. This has been definitely my least favorite from the franchise, and I don't know if I should be happy that we are getting a 6th installment because maybe they will redeem themselves, or if I should be scared because maybe we should just leave it here and not move on with this. I don't know. It just loses the essence of the Purge night, of the Purge movies, and it tries to be something bigger, and by doing that they just fell short in many areas. I think what they wanted to do is to bring a strong message, and I don't think they even achieved that. So at the end of the day, they were not even able to let that message come through. It did not end up being a movie with something to say. This movie was not original in any way or form, and it was just frustrating. So for all of these reasons, I ended up giving this movie a 2 out of 5. This is the lowest that I have rated a Purge movie, and it hurts my heart so much. I wanted to love this movie so much, but it just didn't happen. I hope this did not turn into a rant because that was not my intention. I have a lot of respect for the people that put so many hours and hard work into making movies, so I do not want to trash anybody's work. I'm just kind of trying to give you guys my opinions, the things that rubbed me the wrong way, the things that I didn't enjoy so much. So I mean, is this a really bad movie? No, but as a fan of the franchise, I was disappointed, which is funny because I've seen many people saying if you loved the other movies in the franchise, you will love this one. I'm like, hell no. Hell no. And to end my spoiler-free review of the movie, I would like to quote a one-sentence movie review that I saw, and I felt so identified with it. And the movie review said, "It took forever and I wanted to purge." Alright you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this spoiler-free movie review. Let me know down below what you thought about the film, the franchise in general. Let's talk about The Purge. Do you still want my ranking of the movies even though they're gonna make a 6th one? Let me know down below because I was considering of making my ranking of the Purge franchise soon. Before you leave, please remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you all guys very soon in our next coffee time. Bye!